Hola, and welcome to episode what? Episode 100 of Word to Your Mama. That is correct, 100th episode. Word to Your Mama is a podcast about the life of a Latina mama, that's me, and the lives of my amazing multicultural tribe. It's a celebration of shared experiences navigating this dynamic world. There will be special guests, mad laughs, and absolutely no BS. Nah, B is our motto. Segments by the supernatural bear. That's my little man. He's 9. This is the last week of him being 9. He'll be turning 10 in a week, and it brings me tears because he's the only one I have. But he's also going on 49. He's an old soul. But other than that, this podcast will be explicit. Please believe it. And why do I have such a dope, wide range of peeps on here? Is because I come from the music, art, and now Web3 industries. So, as I mentioned, this is episode 100, folks. 100, a word to your mama. We made it. This is where I would enter, if I didn't have to pay for it, this is where I would enter Ghostface Killah's We Made It. We made it. That's right, because we made it. Today, for the 100th episode, we have a very, 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 very special guest. Her name is Sonia Valencia, soon to be changed, as you will hear later on in the episode. The over 40 OG beauty skin queen, Latina Sephora Squad launch partner, and TikTok sensation. As you know, I call it the deep top. So she is the deep top sensation. She is here, folks. She is here. It was recorded earlier this year, but I wanted to come out when it was special. And this is special, right? The 100th episode. So Sonia is here to share her amazing story of going from teen mom to now grandma to full-time content creator. Her move from Washington to LA, quitting her job, her business to do this full-time, and how she came about being super authentic, never doubting herself, how she talks about her skin-first approach to beauty, to makeup, how old is the goal, and all these new transitions she has in store, and I'm super excited for her. So first and foremost, I tell my story how I got into her and how I followed her when I first was a lurker only on the tip top, and how super excited I am that she said yes. So huge shout out to one of the Nabi Productions ladies, Lady Emish, who's been on here with Lilium, who's been on here for Heartbreak Radio. She's amazing. Muchísimas gracias for being like, yeah, why don't you just email it? Because I was like, oh, no. I've seen her meteoric rise. She moved from Washington to LA. There's no way she's going to say yes. And her email is probably going to go to her manager, then maybe agent, and then, it's not going to happen. But I was like, okay, nothing to lose. I emailed her, and shabooyah, she emails me back. And like I mentioned in the episode, I was like, who the fuck is Sonia? Because, it was just an email, and I was like, who's Sonia? And I was like, oh, shit. Sonia. She said yes. And so I'm forever grateful. I feel like we're definitely kindred spirits, especially when you hear us speak. Because my husband says that my mouth is like a sailor from a bad neighborhood. And I have to, suppress it sometimes. I know when and where to turn it off. But when it's just me and it's comfortable and blah, 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 that's why this podcast, that's why, I preface all the time that it is explicit. So she's genuine. She's the real deal. It is an honor and a pleasure that she said yes, that I have her on. And I hope, I run into her if she comes out to the desert or if I, see her at an event in LA. But I really love her mission. She's Latina. She's over 40. She's one of us. And she keeps it really real. She's super authentic. I appreciate that. And I love her, what she's spreading as far as loving yourself first. Putting yourself first and being okay. Old old is the goal, and we shouldn't be afraid, because systematically as women, we are told that that is not the goal, right? That you should do everything in your power to stop the aging process, to not look your age. And that's something that I struggle with. So I know that that's something that some of our listeners are struggling with. So it's refreshing. That's why I resonated with her content. And that's why I'm super excited to present to you Sonia Valencia. And then also, don't forget after that, the Supernatural Bear Corner. And then after that, a little short outro. Muchísimas gracias. Let's get into it. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Sonia. How are you up in the grass blades background?
I know, right? I didn't even know it was this background. I'm like, what is this? Where am I at?
Sonia, thank you so much for being on Word to Your Mama. This is a first. You are popping my cherry of sorts. This is a first because you're the first person that I don't know, or someone in my tribe, my crew didn't recommend and knows. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like the first person. So this is hella exciting. So thank you so much.
Exactly.
Thank you. So let's start off by, how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually, I just got off a flight, so I'm seeing my kids.
Oh, nice. So you're in Washington?
Yeah, I'm currently in Washington right now. I just came in today.
Wow, thank you. And thank you so much for doing it while you just landed and shit. You could have been like, nah, bitch, I'm busy with family.
I know. I was going to be like, bitch, I have to start to reschedule, but I'm Mexican and I have to do what I got to do.
There you go. That's it.
I'm super committed. Like when I say that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Unless I lost my voice, then I have no choice, girl. Then I'll be like, I lost my voice.
Oh my God. You're amazing. Well, thank you so much. I'm even like doubled honored. First and foremost, because you said yes. I was like, she's too busy. She's too big. She's not gonna say yes. But thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you made it safe to go see the kids back in Washington. That's amazing.
It is.
So I'll try to keep it brief. So let's start. I want to start from the beginning, because I know everyone wants to get to like the TikTok makeup shit, but I want to know more about you, shit that I don't get to hear about on the tops.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get to see that side of me, but I'm starting to like venture out and put myself out there a little bit more when it comes to my life outside of skincare and outside of makeup. I just feel like people think that I'm like, I'm super blunt. I have no filter. I have no problem saying how I feel. But they get a different side of me because a lot of people are like, you're really funny. So a lot of times, I'm very sarcastic and I'm just out there too. So how you meet me online is how I am in person. And that says a lot, I think, because a lot of people play a certain part when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
Like you can be somebody that's like, out there, outgoing, like extra with it, and then there's some people that are not, and I'm just like in the middle of that. Like I can be my own space, but I just feel like I cuss a lot more outside of social media though. That's what I do. That's the only difference. But other than that, like I just feel like I'm a mom. I just moved. I've been in LA for a whole year. When people met me, I was in Washington. My kids were still at my house. And now, I think a lot of times people think that I have little kids. And it's because I share a lot when it comes to my grandson. And I think they kind of get confused. And I'm like, no, I have a grandson that's 5 years old. I have adult kids. And people think, oh, you must have little ones. I mean, my oldest one's going to be 28. Wow. My youngest one's going to be 18. And I have all boys. I'm a boy mom. And, I have 2 grandkids. So it's kind of like people don't see a lot of that simply because I think my kids don't want to be in it either. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, this is my thing. And I feel like people think that I'm like overly out there and I'm kind of maybe rude because, I'm so blunt. And I think people like it comes across that. And I feel like as a Latinas know, like, you know, we say what we feel and we can be nice at the same time. And you know, since I moved to LA, I've met a lot of people that follow me, and they're just like, the first thing they say is, "You're smaller than I thought." Number two, "You're a lot nicer, and your skin looks like glass." And they're like, "You look way better in person." And I was like, "Oh my God." Well, then do I look fucking ugly?
Right?
Online.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to so were you born and raised in Washington?
I was born and raised in Washington. I lived in Pasco, Washington. I lived in a small community. I actually live in a community where there's a lot of Mexicanos here. It's an ag community. There's just a lot going on when it comes to weed, you know, food, anything, you name it. A lot of people just don't think it. I call it kind of like LA living, like East LA, but without the palm trees. And that's how I feel about it. It's just that when I went to LA, there's just so much culture there. And I just feel like people in LA should just appreciate that. And I think because I came from one location from here to there, I feel like, oh my God, we don't have that.
Yeah.
And so, and I always tell people, like, you guys should appreciate what you guys have, even though you guys, you know, been LA people for a long time or California residents. But I just feel like it's so different. But yeah, I lived in Washington for a long time, and I did social media, and it just so happened that I made, you know, Sephora Squad and stuff like that. So it transitioned and it opened the doors to a lot of things for me that I didn't know what was happening. Like, I quit my job of 8 years that I love so much to do full-time content creating. And I feel like sometimes people are like, what happened to your job? And that's why a lot of my old content, I had the same hoodie on, because people thought that I didn't have different clothes. They were, because I did my content early in the morning, like at 6 a.m., or I did it at night. Because, you know, you have a life in between that. And I think a lot of times people forget that you have a life outside of social media. So, yeah, I lived in Washington my whole life. But now I'm a California resident, and I don't think I'm coming back.
You love it. But it's so true, because, you know, I lived in LA forever. Then I came out to I'm in the desert now. And I tell people all the time, I was like, man, I didn't know how good I had it until I left. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so I tell my friends, I said, appreciate. And then when they post food pictures and they're going here and going, then I was like, man, you don't even understand what you're doing to me. You don't know until it's gone. And
Exactly.
you know, you coming from, you know, another state with, you know, another climate, and it's a smaller town, and then coming to LA, I mean, you see the gold mine, like you see it the way we don't see it, because we're all up in it. And I was just like, yo, like the food, the people, like you said, the culture. I mean, you've been there a year and you haven't even scratched the surface of amazingness, food, and like, especially because you know, you did it during a pandemic. So shit starts opening up, and then you can, you know, experience more and stuff. Like, I'm super excited for you. So like, I was doing a deep dive, and I was like, oh, is there any content that, you know, is not makeup related? And I wanted to ask you, what does it mean to, you know, you've said it in other videos and stuff that you know, you're a teen mom, you tell your story here and there, sprinkles, and now you have like this second chance. You mentioned on a post that you have this like second chance as you are a grandma and you're older. And so how has that been for you?
I think a lot of times when you're a teen mom, you make a lot of mistakes because you're not even old enough to be a parent. And so you're not equipped with the correct tools to even be a mom. So when I've gotten older to where it's kind of like, oh, I made all these mistakes, because now that you're a grandma, you get to make up for that. And so now you're just like, oh, do whatever you want. Like, I spoil my grandkids. I give them whatever they want. I'm actually with my grandson right now, but he's like, well, I need some shoes. I go, okay, let's go get some shoes, because that's what I'd be doing. But when I was younger and I was a mom, I couldn't afford a lot of stuff too. So I was always on a budget, like a tight budget. I made $20 last for 2 weeks. But then back then the gas was only $63 or,
right.
or 90 cents, I mean. And so for me, I was like, oh my God, what's still happening on with these gas prices? But that's how it is. I feel like back then I didn't have enough support. Like there wasn't a lot of, I literally had to do myself. I had to do it myself and I had to hustle. My mom was like, I didn't have those kids. You have to raise those kids on your own. So she was really tough on me to where I was like, okay. So I never depended on anybody. And I feel like for her as a mom, she's like, damn, I messed up. I shouldn't have did that. So because it went from that, it went to me. And I was like, hey, you guys need to do this. You need to do that. And so I showed a lot of tough love. And sometimes we had to kind of pull back and say, man, I shouldn't have did that. Maybe I should have given more love than tough love. And so you kind of go back and forth with your parenting. But at the end of the day, though, like you live and you learn. And so that's what parenting 101 is. And adult children, they don't know how to play no games because it's kind of like a do-over. I thought when they were teenagers was hard. Girl, really? No. Having adult kids is very stressful because as teenagers, you can tell them, you can kind of tell them what to do. But as adults, you can't. You can only give them advice and they can either accept it or they're just like, do whatever they choose to do. But at the end of the day, that's their life. And I just let them do whatever, they have to do. But parenting has been very different. I think now I'm a lot more nicer, but now I'm still like, if I have to tell them something or if I don't like something that they're doing, I will be like, hey, you have to fix that. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't look forward to that. Mine's the supernatural, but he's only 9 going on 39, 49. And it goes by so fast, right? Like it's
like a blink of an eye. So I encourage everybody that has little ones to just embrace it, because by the time you know it, they're going to graduate high school and they're going to be out of your house. And especially boy moms, because those are the people that we sacrifice our whole life for. And then once they meet a girl, they don't know who you are. They only know who you are when they want 2 things, money and a recipe of how you make something. That's about it. And then now it's more like advice, like, what do you think I should do? Because that's the most important. I think when they're teenagers too, they forget about you. And then because they're more into their friends, but then they come back around when they're about, 25, 26, 27, they'll come back around. And so that's what I'm dealing with. I have like older kids that, have their life going on. And then I have going to be an 18-year-old and that's what he's doing. He's like living his little best life. And he's like, Mom, I'm living my life.
So what are your sons, well, let me back up. When was the day that you're like, I'm going to get on I call it TikTok. When are you going to get on TikTok? When you're the first time I'm going to upload my video. Were you a lurker first and then you decided?
I was a lurker first because my son was watching TikTok and he was watching these dance videos. And I was like, I want to watch that. It was during COVID. Everything was closed. I lived in Washington State. We were the first state to get closed. But the job that I did, I never had to be at home. I would go to work and then I would come home. And so for me, I was like, man, this is cool. I like the dance videos, the cookie videos. I was like, okay, I started with handbag videos because that's what I was into. And then people were asking me what makeup products I use and like what skincare products I use. So then that's when it started. I just started posting like things here and there. And then I did a concealer video that was, this is how young girls do it. We're old bitches. We can't be doing that. And that actually is the one that set the bar for me because I went from like 20K followers to like 200 and something followers within 2 weeks. I couldn't even be on social media for like literally 3 days because it was so busy. And so for me, I just did it my youngest son made fun of me. He's like, what do you think? You're going to be a star or something? And I actually have that video and I actually sent it to him. And I was like, what do you think about this shit now? And he's like, I can't even say nothing. He's like, you're doing what you love. He's like, you've always done it. Like my friends have always came to me and be like, what's your favorite liner? What do you think of this product? What do you think of that product? What do you think of this? And so, so for me, it was natural for me. Yeah. And because I was myself and I was just like, I'm not going to pretend to be anybody but myself. And so for people to like just me in general was crazy because I was always told like, no one's going to like you because you're so blunt. You're never going to have no friends because you're so blunt, girl. Like you need to calm down. You need to tone it down. And I never learned how to do it. It always got me in trouble sometimes because, the mouth just pops off real quick. And I'm just like, man, I should have thought about that before I said it. Now that I'm older, I really think about it before I say something. But when it comes to makeup and skincare, I don't. It just comes out of my mouth. And so that's what TikTok started. Like I just kind of went and embraced it. And I feel like in December of 2021, well, actually, I think it was 2020. Yeah, probably at the end. No, 2021. I was, somebody hit me up in the DMs about wanting to do a documentary on me.
What?
And I was like, nah, I get a lot of DMs. I'm like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And he knew I didn't believe him. He's like, you know what? She's hardcore. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm this person. He's like, no, for real. Like I work for Sephora. I do the Sephora YouTube channel. I work with this. If you don't believe me, I will call you. We're all working from home right now. But believe me, like I'm telling you. And I told him, no. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not interested in that. I wasn't ready to put myself out there. And I don't understand why I was so afraid to do it. And I feel like I just was like, no, I don't want all that attention. I don't want that. And he's like, it's not even about that. It's that you're sharing your story and you're going to control what you're going to say. So it's up to you what you're going to say. And he was talking to me December, girl, January. And finally I said, okay, in January. And then when he wanted to film me, I was in Maui. I was like, for my birthday, I was like, I can't do it because I'm over here on vacation. I will come to you. Wow. So he did. So that's why I did it in Maui. And so
I thought they flew you there or something.
No, I was there already.
And they came to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I was already there. And he was like, no, we will go to you. And so normally they come to your house. They come to your hometown. And because I wasn't in my hometown, he was like, I don't care where you're at. We're going to you, because it took him a lot to convince me to do it. But I did it and it came out. And, I was just like, oh my God. I put myself out there and I cried on TikTok for the first time because I recorded my reaction. And I was like, why am I crying? And I had sunscreen in my eyes because, I apply a lot of sunscreen. And I was like, I'm crying and my eyes are stinging because of my sunscreen's coming off. And it was just one of those realizations that, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen, because I was always in control of my life. Yeah. And now it was kind of like, man, I don't know what's going to happen. Like what's going to happen in 6 months, because I had no clue. And, I was still working full time at the time. I asked people for testimonies because I applied for the Sephora squad. And, honestly, for me, I didn't think I was going to make it because I was so blunt and I cussed a lot. And I was like, I am not Sephora motherfucking material. I was like, nope, they just say no. And then when I made semifinals, I was like, they just did it because I did a documentary, man, whatever. And, sometimes you just kind of be like, you doubt yourself, like, nah, they ain't gonna like me. They ain't ready for me yet. And they were. I think I wasn't ready for them. And when I signed that contract and I did my first sponsorship with Sephora, I swear I was like, this is so rough. Like, I don't know if I can do this, because I had a tough time within those 3 months, because before I could do and say whatever I wanted and post whatever I wanted. Yeah. This time around, I had to learn how to do partnerships. I had to learn to do a lot of things and not learn how to cuss online. So it was kind of like I had to be more professional. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Because I'm like, this is my job. And so for me, the first 3 months was tough. And I was like, I don't know. I just want to quit. And I literally had to pull myself together and say, bitch, like, what is going on with you? Like, you should be blessed that you're in a position to do this. Number one. Number two, you're an over 40 content creator, and that's a plus. And number three, you're Latina. So you are opening the doors for a lot of people, even though like people have their YouTube space and IG space, and there wasn't nobody like me. And that's how I felt. Like I'm opening the doors for a lot of Latinas. to, or even inspire people to do it, because I'm always telling people, just do it. Put
Yeah.
yourself out there. That's probably the hardest part to do, because you're scared that people aren't going to like you, and you're scared that you're not going to get one view. Just put yourself out there. That's what I did, and I felt like I worked so hard doing it, and I just got into it for a whole year and a half. I worked. I didn't get no sponsorships, but my first sponsorship was from Good Molecules and It Cosmetics and Murad. I mean, I was working with really big companies. I wasn't working with small little companies, which there's nothing wrong with that. I worked with a lot of small businesses, and I've always helped like really little small businesses, because I feel like it's important. And
Yeah.
even though I didn't like a lot of the products that I got sent, I would never review a small business. Like, I wouldn't give it a terrible review, simply because I know how hard it is to run a business, because I ran a cannabis business for 8 years. And so for me, it was like, I know how it is to work hard to make 13K a month to making 200,000, within 7 months, because you had to learn to progress. You know what I mean? So I feel like with TikTok, that's what it did. TikTok really changed my life too, because, I went from living in Washington to living in LA, going to events, getting flown to events, and me being the oldest person. Like, I just got invited today to Rare Beauty, and you only see content creators that are 30 and under. You never really see older women. And I feel like I'm opening the doors to a lot of people when it comes to that, simply because we can still do makeup, and we can still do makeup. And that's going to be my goal for 2022 and 2023, is to open the doors for a lot of makeup brands to be more of in their face, and, try to be in their campaigns, be a face. It can be anybody.
Yeah.
Just as long as we have more of people like us out there. Because, you go to all these stores, and you see all the young girls, but where are all the older women at? Where
Exactly. We wear makeup.
Yeah, we wear makeup. We're the ones that have the money.
Exactly.
So I just feel like there's like a gap in between that. And, everyone's trying to change it, because, when we get older, we don't really feel seen, and we don't really feel heard, and we don't feel worthy enough to be like, hey, but, we're kind of trying to make noise out there so we can be out there, and we can feel the importance of getting older. And I feel like people are so afraid to get old too. And that's why, some TikToks, I'm like, old is the goal, and we need to embrace our age, simply because we're not getting any younger. You can get Botox fillers, you can get a facelift, you can get a whole body, but that age ain't going to change.
Exactly. And you know what I like about you too? The fact that you cuss, because I cuss a lot as well. That's an issue over here. But you are over 40. And then also your gray hair. I'm just visually, like, from jump. I don't know. People don't know exactly how old you are, but you're of a certain age, right? And so when I was flipping, the first time I got on there, it was during the pandemic, and it was that, my friends were like, oh, be careful, because you're going to get on, you're going to be addicted for like 2 weeks straight. Like, you're going to be on that shit 24/7. I was like, yep. But then, and I was like, you know how it takes a while for the algorithm to not just show you stupid little, like, young folks dancing, and it starts curating your shit. So I saw you, and then you kept coming up. And then, I'm not a big makeup person, but I kept seeing you, and then I would hear you talk. And then I was like, oh, I like this. And it changed my perception of Tip Top for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, oh, there's people that are my age, or younger or older, and you were just being yourself. So my question is, from the beginning, when you first started talking about the handbags and stuff, right? And then it evolved to makeup. Were you always comfortable showing your face? Because that's an issue for me, like, to show my face on camera. Was that ever an issue or no?
No, I think for me, it was never an issue. I think a lot of times people think that, like, it's so hard to do, but you got to remember that you're on a camera, you're in your room by yourself. So you're basically talking to yourself. And then the moment that you put it out there, then people visually see you and listen to you and listen what you have to say. So for me, I was not afraid to do any of that because, like I said, like, I'm a consumer just like you are. You know what I mean? Now this is my job. This is what I do now. So that's the only difference. I've always reviewed makeup. I've always said things were whack as fuck. I've always said, don't buy that. Don't spend money on that. I've always said that. It's just now online and people get to see it. You know what I mean? So for me, no, it didn't bug me. I mean, when I do, ads and stuff and they reverse my video and I look, not myself. People come for me and people say really mean comments and they be coming for me.
And how do you deal with that shit? Like, are you like, okay, this is internet, these are trolls, I don't know them. Like, how do you deal with that shit?
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Many of us have heard of the devastating passing of Hurricane Fiona through Puerto Rico, but not many of us know of ways, or better yet, trustworthy ways to help and contribute to those in need. Fiona a través de los ojos de los niños is an NFT project featuring art made by children of the nonprofit school Flor de Loto in Ponce, Puerto Rico. Through their drawings, they've expressed their feelings and fears which they went through the hurricane. You can help these children, their school, families, and communities by minting one of their NFTs at helppr.xyz. You can also help by sending crypto directly to their wallet listed on the website or do a donation through PayPal. The links can be found in the description. And to learn more about this initiative and how you can help, please visit helppr.xyz or via Twitter at helpprflm.
Dancing crew, trip for two, nailed the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. Boosters designed for COVID-19 variants are now available. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster appointment as soon as you're eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
You know what? Since I've been a teen mom, I've always had tough skin. And I grew up with 8 cousins that were all boys. I have all boys. And I think that's where it came from. So I always got made fun of by my cousins. Like I would be like, oh my God, why are you hurting my feelings? You have chicken legs. Oh, you know how cousins are.
Yeah.
And I just feel for me, it doesn't bug me. I think it's funny.
So
because it doesn't hurt my feelings. And I feel like you have to be a certain person. You have to be confident in yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you aren't as confident as you think and you see a negative comment, it's going to bug you.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. I'm a confident ass bitch. And it took me, a long time to be confident. I think I was most confident when I started transitioning to gray hair when I was 36. I'm actually 44 years old. And so for me, I was always my biggest critic. I was like, my worst critic. So like, if other people can do it, like I'm my worst critic. I'm the one that's going to affect myself if I'm saying it. A lot of people let other people, other people's opinions just fuck up their life. And for me, I don't care what other people think of me. Honestly, I don't care what people think of me. I don't care. Like if I say a brand is whack, I don't care.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, just like, for example, I said, J-Lo's, I respect Latina. I respect her hustle, but I did not respect her skincare line. It sucks. And I said it, and they came and they were up in the DMs talking about, you want us to send you more product.
I love that shit so much. That's why I love you. You're the best. Okay, Sonia, let's get into the questions and comments from the audience. First one. What is the one item that you can't live without? This is from WTYM episode 53, award-winning author Lilium Rivera. That's her question.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen. You are the queen of sunscreens. Whatever sunscreen you're into, I follow for sure.
Yeah. Sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Okay. Next question. When you are not doing makeup tutorials online, do you like to listen to music when you're doing your makeup and skincare routines? If so, what are you rocking? That is from episode 27, union organizer, dope-ass Latina, co-host of the famous Heartbreak Monday Radio, Lady Emish.
I listen to a lot of 90s music. So Aaliyah, Biggie, Tupac. That's what I listen to. That's what I grew when it comes to listening to music. That's what I'm into right now.
Dope.
The 90s.
The 90s. Okay, the next one. How much content does she upload? Is it daily? And how has her life changed since day one of TikTok? This is from family member Daniel Cabezon Ibarra. How much content do you upload? Like, is it daily?
So I upload, so in the beginning, I uploaded like 2 videos a day. Now I upload 5 to 6 per week.
Oh, per week. Got it. Do you have like do you have like a schedule, or now that you work with different brands and you're the Sephora and stuff, it's a schedule like, okay, this week I gotta ba.
Yeah, I have Dory moments, girl. I'm 44. I keep forgetting stuff. I have to write. So I have actually a planner, and I do have a Google Calendar, but I'm old school. I like to write things down and make sure that way I know, sometimes your phone glitches and you miss some emails. So I'm really focused on a calendar and what else? Yeah, so that's how I schedule all my stuff, honestly, through scheduling. And I don't have a manager or anything. I do everything myself because I'm a hustler.
That's right. Because I thought I was when I first saw you, I was like, I want to have her on my show. This was like a year ago, and then Lady Emish, she was the one. She discovered you on Instagram, but I had already been up on you on TikTok, on Tip Top, right? And I was like. She's like, I've been following her since Jump. She's like, she should be on your show. And I was like, I don't know. She's big now. I'm sure she has a manager and agent. I was like, I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
And then she was the one who was like, you should just email her. And then you email me back. First, I was like, who the fuck is Sonia? Because it was just an email, you know what I mean? And I was like, holy shit, it's Sonia, like Sonia. So that's amazing. I thought like for sure, because I was like, oh, she moved to LA. She probably has an agent. I'm sure, you think that would be on the horizon if you find the right fit?
I think if I find the right fit, probably. I talk to a lot of influencers that have management. So some of it is good, some of it is bad. I feel right now for me, I can still manage my stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I get bigger, I might go to management.
Yeah, because that's gonna help you stay organized and kind of weed shit out and time management and shit. Okay.
But I don't say no to podcasts. I'm gonna be honest, because I love doing podcasts. I feel like people get to know me more.
Yeah.
I do a lot of lives too. So a lot of times people get to know me, ask me questions, whatever they want to know, they ask me. They do not hold back.
I love that. Okay, so we have this section called the not so rapid fire questions, the slow as hell questions. Are you ready, Sonia? 3 words to describe yourself.
Blunt, dope as fuck, chingona.
Yes. Oh my God. Next one. What's the best piece of advice you received?
To put yourself first.
Okay. You're going quick. These are maybe not so slow as hell.
They might be slow.
This is a great one. What song is your hype song? Your go-to hype song when you need it?
Oh, man. You know what? I don't have a song like that. You know, I think for me, I have to look at myself in the mirror and say, bitch, you got this. Like, come on, let's get to it. Like, honestly, but if it's a song that I really, really like that pumps me up, baby, I got your money. Don't
Yes.
you want? Yeah, that one.
Okay. So that will be included. So that's going to be added to the Word to Your Mama guest hype song playlist that I got on Spotify. So I'll have a link to that for sure. The final question, Sonia. What will be your legacy?
My legacy, honestly, is just to make sure that people can be like, if they look at me, I want them to be themselves. I want them to feel beautiful without makeup, without a filter. I feel like healthy skin looks different on everybody, and stop comparing yourself. So my legacy is just being you.
I love that. And I looked at some of the quotes you have, and I love the one that you said, love the skin more than the power of makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And how important is that? Like, you're known as a makeup, person, but I love that you have the message of, look, bitch, this is me, no filter. You post sometimes with no makeup on whatsoever, depending on like the different socials that you have. And I also love that I think it helps me because, I'm 48 and I'm like in that transition with the hormones, and my skin is different and it's not as easy. And you're just like, there's plenty of times that your videos have helped me where you're just like, that's texture, bitch. We got like, even with makeup.
I think I think, in this day and age, I think a lot of people want that perfect skin, and it never existed. And filters came to play. And I feel like filters are very bad for women because it mentally damages just the way that you view yourself. So I'm always, doing a lot of videos with no makeup because I want everybody to feel comfortable in their own skin and showing real skin and embracing the skin. And makeup should just mattify your beauty. It shouldn't make you feel beautiful. It should be just the cherry on top, the extra sauce that you need. And I just feel like women now are like, oh my God, I'm afraid to get old. I'm afraid of the wrinkle. I'm afraid of this. Why are you afraid of aging? Aging is beautiful, number one. And everybody has textured skin. And I don't understand why people don't think so. I feel like I literally see a lot of influencers that other people see that use beauty mode, that I visually see their skin. And my skin, that's why I like tell everybody, embrace it. Everybody's like, you don't have no wrinkles. You don't have. Yes, I do. I do have wrinkles. I do have texture. I do have sunspots. I'm dealing with hormonal acne. Like, I'm going through it. My skin is turning into a teenager because since I moved to LA, my skin is is barely starting to get used to living in LA. So
the smog and shit. They'll
just
do it to you.
The pollution, the aggressors. Like, a lot of people don't think about that. So I just feel like just embracing your skin. And that was my whole point of that is for me to do my makeup with, like when I do makeup tutorials, that it was just like 101s, or it was like just really basic things. But I just, hey, be quiet. Sorry. I just feel like, in the industry that the beauty industry that we're in, like, you're supposed to look a certain way. And me moving from Washington to LA, I noticed a really big difference. Like, people are really into how they look, their skin, lasers, Botox, fillers. Like, they don't even look like themselves. So, when I came over here, they're like, who did your cheeks? And I was like, I don't have no work done. These are my cheeks. These are my high cheekbones. And I feel like, if that's what makes you feel confident, then do that. You know what I mean? I'm not against none of that. You're never going to hear me say I'm never going to do it. But right now, I don't need it. And I'm just going to embrace my age. But I just feel like women need to just embrace their age. Like, hey, if you can't change that sagginess, then do your makeup differently. Or if you want, glowy skin, change your skincare and, apply products that are dewy for your skin. Or if you want the manteca glow, make sure that you get hydrated skin. Or if you want to look like a motherfucking glazed donut, make sure that you, apply products that do that for you. And I just feel like women are lost. I think a lot of women, because they're not confident. Confidence plays a big part. I always encourage everyone to tell themselves that they love themselves fully, and especially looking at yourself in the mirror, like visually looking at yourself. It's super hard for women to say, I am worthy, I am seen, I am heard, I am beautiful, and actually believe it. But if you say that every single day to yourself and say something good about yourself every single day, you're going to believe it. And that's why I encourage moms with daughters to say, you know what, you're beautiful. You don't need all that makeup, or, getting older is beautiful. You don't have to do all of this. Like, be yourself, be your authentic self. And I feel a lot of people a lot of people are fake.
That's real. That's fucking real. And you're the first beauty influencer, whatever you want to call it, that I followed. I think you're one of the only ones that I follow because you're real. You're not using it as a mask. You're using it as like enhancer. Like, oh, let's have fun. Let's go out here, or this daily. And it's about, I think it's why I really take to your content is because you're always like skin first.
Yeah, skin over makeup. And I feel like, everything goes viral, but why isn't sunscreen going viral? Sunscreen is probably one of the biggest things that is going to protect your skin for what everybody's afraid of.
Yep.
The sun is damaging your skin. The environment is damaging your skin. And I just feel like, a lot of, when I was younger, my mom didn't show me how to do makeup, didn't probably show me how to do skincare because she didn't know. And so I just felt, I didn't realize in the Latin community how many people didn't know how to wash their face properly, or didn't know what sunscreen was, because we were too busy going to school and working 2-3 jobs and trying to provide for our family. And that's what we know. And I feel like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start educating people doing basic 101s, because that's what we need. Because if I put 20 things in one video, they're not going to know. They're just going to remember the first thing that I'm talking about. So for me, it was super important to educate women on self-love, self-worth. We are seen, we are heard. It's okay to not be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Your skin don't have to be perfect. Your healthy skin's going to look different from my healthy skin. A lot of times people are like, I want my skin to look like yours. Hey, I've been doing this for 8 years. Your skin journey barely started. Your skin might look better than mine. Shoot. Then I'll be like, what were you doing? But that's what I'm saying, is that I just want women to really love themselves and put themselves first, because a lot of times us moms don't put ourselves first. We're always in the back burner.
Facts.
We're always providing everything for everybody else, but never taking care of ourselves. And it's years and years and years of not taking care of ourselves. I'm not talking about week or 2 weeks. I'm talking about years and years. And so then when we're by ourselves, then we don't know what to do with our life, because our main focus was taking care of the kids, making sure everything was where it needed to be, and making sure that we raised really good kids, really good adults. And because, everybody has to deal with your adult kids. And so, it's super important to me that, So this year I'm telling everybody, I keep telling you guys, put yourself first, give 20 minutes for yourself every single day. I'm not saying once a week. I'm saying every single day.
Yep.
Give yourself 20 minutes to do whatever you need to do. That means go eat the Snickers, in your closet, go take a warm shower, go to Target by yourself, go do something that you love doing, window shop online, do what you got to do, journal, listen to your favorite music, go dance in your room, do whatever your heart desires. Because if you ask women what they like, they're going to tell you what the kids like and what the person that they are with, what they like, because they don't know what they like, because they lost themselves in that. Just, you know what I mean? So it's super important.
Exactly.
COVID taught us to put ourselves first.
Yes. So what is next for you? What are your those are, the messages you want to put out there, but where do you want to be for the next year or two? Like, what's the next level for Sonia?
So right now, Sephora Squad ended in 2020, 2022 just started, and I'm actually a launch partner. So I'm still continuing to be part of the Sephora Squad.
Nice.
I'm working with bigger brands. So, I'm just reviewing. And so that's what I'm doing. I moved into a bigger home. I live by myself now. I have had many transitions. This has been a year of change. Let me tell you, like changes, lots of changes. And so, in the next year, you're going to see my name change. You're going to see
your name change. What do you mean?
Yeah. So I was married and I'm currently separated and going to get a divorce. So my name, Valencia is my married name, but it's going to be Ramos. So that's my main.
Yeah.
So you're going to see that I'm more independent. You're going to see a lot of me doing my own damn shopping because, girl, I never knew how to shop for one person. So I'm transitioning and I'm learning a lot about myself, and I'm learning what I love to do by myself, and I'm learning to do things by myself. And that's a big transition. So you're going to see that, you're going to see it. You're going to see somebody changing from, having a different last name to just putting herself out there and just, being married to me, myself, and I.
That's amazing.
And that's why I encourage everybody to put themselves first and not stay in a space of obligation. If you're not happy in a space, get out of that space, because you're just leading people on if you're not even happy in that space. So I just feel like I just want to encourage every woman to always have a plan B and C, because women can do it. When women can, be by themselves and learn how to do lawn furniture. And
I saw that you're like, I don't know how to build this shit.
I didn't know how to build that bitch. It took me 3.5 hours and the damn lawn furniture was wrong. I was like, he sent me the wrong part. So before I came here, they sent me the part and I was like, I don't have time to put it together right now. But I'm just learning a lot about myself. So, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of just me putting myself out there by myself. So a lot of learning.
That's amazing. I feel like it's a similar story to like my relative and a lot of other people that I know that were teenage moms. Like for those of us that weren't, we got to go to college or those 20s, those early years to discover and be on your own. And now you're in that phase, and I'm super excited for you, Sonia. Like,
I've never been by myself.
That's major.
That's what it is that you never been by yourself.
Yeah.
So I was 15. I never been by myself. This is the first year that I've been by myself, and it feels good because I can buy whatever I want. I don't have to ask nobody. I can do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want. I don't have to worry about packing for kids. I don't have to cook for anybody but myself. It is so nice. I didn't expect it to be this nice, but I was like, shook. I was like, where has this been all my life? It's a long time ago. I was like, man, it's good to be a grandma and to spoil the kids, and it's good to come home and see the kids and spend time with them. But it's also good to go back home and be in your space. And that's what I learned is I finally have my own space.
Yeah.
I don't have to hide in the closet and have my quietness. I don't have to deal with anything but my own shit. And that's what it is. I want to deal with my own shit, my own stuff.
Freedom.
And yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
I can't wait. I'm sure all of us can't wait to watch you had an amazing story. We've seen that journey, you know what I'm saying? And now to see this journey where you're the self-discovery. I mean, I can't even imagine just what maybe some people might think is a small thing. I see it as a huge fucking deal.
It is.
The name change. The name change alone, bitch. Like,
I get my name motherfucking back, bitch. I've been wanting my name back
crazy.
Forever.
That's crazy.
And for me, like I think a lot of times people are like, but I like your last name. I go, it's all good if you like it, but that's good for you. But I'm going to change my name. Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait.
Ooh, that's gonna be. You're gonna go. That's gonna be great. You're in a
Oh,
home. You're in your
girl,
own.
you guys better be ready. You guys
That's
better be
what I'm
ready.
saying.
Put your seatbelt on.
You have your
guys
own
better be
place.
ready.
You're in a new city. You're gonna have a new name. I mean, it's on and popping. So I know you're there with your grandkids. I don't want to take. Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, I'm indebted to you forever. You're amazing. This was better than I hoped. I knew you were. I was like, she's gonna be exactly the way she is on the thing. Like, I just knew it. I feel like, kindred spirits. Like, I can't fake. I feel like you're the same as me. I can't fake the funk, right?
I can't. Like, we can't.
You
It's
can't
just
fake
part
the
of
funk.
it.
But
Yeah.
I tell people I can be professional though. Like, if I hate you, but it's in a professional setting, I could be cordial.
Oh yeah, I can be cordial too, but I'll let you know that I don't like you though.
But
either, girl.
my face does not lie. It's hard.
Oh,
It's
mine
hard,
either.
right? So then I was like, okay, either I'm gonna really like her, or she's gonna or we're gonna be butting heads because we're alike. But you're the best. Thank you so much. I'm gonna let you get back to your familia. Hopefully I run into you in LA. If you're ever out in the desert, let me know. And
live.
what was that?
Where do you live?
In Palm Springs.
Girl, I was over there.
Let me know, girl. Let me know. I got you. Yeah. 'Cause I lived in LA forever. We came out it was supposed to be a spell, but then the pandemic happened. And I was like, we were like, fuck it. Let's just stay here. You know what I'm saying? We had so it was kind of nice too, because during the pandemic, no one could really come visit us. You know what I'm saying? Because we were like over here. So it's been nice. But Sonia, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing trip.
Thank you so much.
Spoiling your grandkids and stuff. So
of course. But thank you so much for having me and asking me to be part of your podcast.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And now introducing
the Supernatural Bear Corner. Supernatural Bear.
Hello, I'm the Supernatural Bear, back with the Supernatural Bear Corner. Thank you guys so much for supporting us all the way here. There's been some tough times with all the COVID stuff going on, but glad you guys could stick around and spare some time for this lovely podcast. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in future episodes of Word to Your Mama. And also, by the time this episode is out, we will be gone. I think. I don't know how long it takes to edit these things. So yeah, birthday in like 9 days from here. Let's go. But thank you guys so much for sticking around, and see you guys soon. That sounded a little creepy. Bye.
Shoobidoos. Yes. There you have it, folks. Episode 100. 100 of Word to Your Mama. Sonia Valencia. How dope is she? Right? It was like, it felt comfortable. It felt like I knew her. She was exactly how she is on her content. Have a link in the show notes to her IG, her tip top, to that documentary. If I can find that reaction video, because I remember watching her reaction video where she was crying. I mean, it's big moves. I mean, she's shifting things, she's disrupting things, and I really love that. So yeah, thank you again to Sonia for being on. And if you heard, the quality that, we usually have from guests wasn't there, but she could have canceled. She didn't. I mean, she literally just landed. She's at her son's place with her grandson, so I was just happy to get her in any form or fashion. So muchísimas gracias to her. And the Supernatural Bear, man, he just got, like, his voice is getting deeper. He'll be As of today, in 9 days, he will be 10. And yeah, I did. Did I cry at lunchtime because I was just looking at him? I sure did. I only got the one, guys. I only got the one. And I was telling him that sure, his dad, his pops, he has that DNA. But I think there's something different with moms and their children. And because I told him, I was like, I literally grew you, mijo. You literally came out of my stomach. It's really creepy still to think about, but it's the truth. And I think maybe that's why I have this crazy connection and everything makes me so emotional. I cry because I'm happy with you. I cry because I'm sad with you. Like, it's so many different things. So anyways, thank you so much for the support, for staying with us on this journey. Email us, DM us, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Keep, let us know what you're into, what you have questions on, blah, 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 blah. And then also, there's so many different ways to support. You can, buy us a whiskey via buy us a coffee. You got the store. You could buy some goods. You got the Patreon to become a patron. You get little goodies depending on what level you're on and stuff like that. Ongoing goodies. And then, of course, if it's free, it's me. So you tell your folks, tell your peeps, and tell your friends. And as always, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. If you want to know more, you want to email us, you want to get the media kit, go head over to wordtoyourmama.com. Word to Your Mama is now part of the Latina Podcasters Network. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by ritzyperiwinkle.com.